Looking for financial support that strives to honor your community's rich heritage and cultural practices? Introducing RBC Origins. Our Indigenous banking specialists provide resources and advice that can help transform your ideas into tangible progress and community prosperity. At RBC, we're committed to driving your goals forward. Learn more at rbc.com/indigenous. RBC, ideas happen here.
I'm Rick Hart. This is your APTN News Brief for Wednesday, August 6th. We begin in Alberta, where a First Nations woman hopes to give the federal Conservative leader a run for his money in an upcoming by-election. With more on NDP candidate Katherine Swampy's bid to beat Pierre Poilievre in Battle River Crowfoot, Chris Stewart.
On April 28th, Progressive Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre lost the riding of Carleton to the Liberals, a riding he represented since 2004. With no seat in the House of Commons, newly re-elected Member of Parliament Damien Carrick from the Battle River Crowfoot riding stepped down, so Poilievre could run in a by-election.
I feel like what he did was very selfish.
Former council member of Samson Creation Katherine Swampy has run before in the riding, and she is running as the NDP candidate for the by-election. She believes the Conservative leader should have listened to the voters who voted him out.
He doesn't own the Conservatives. A lot of the Conservative people are very upset that he did this. That is something that when I'm knocking on the doors, people are telling me they're very upset that he did that. They feel like he should have gracefully stepped back and allowed for a leadership run to happen within the party.
Swampy says people are angry in this by-election.
This run is a sacrificial lamb. You're not going to win, but it gives you a platform. It gives you this advocacy where you can come in and talk about the issues that are ignored by the government. And as an Indigenous person, we have so many issues that are ignored by the government. So, of course, I jumped at the opportunity to run here.
Swampy also took aim at Prime Minister Mark Carney and Bill C-5, which allows projects considered to be of national interest to be fast-tracked for approval.
Bill C-5, where he's just trampling on Indigenous rights and he's bulldozing through environmental rights and he's just trying to push for industry to be able to go ahead and just basically erase all of the work that not only First Nations but environmental activists have done in the last 10 or so years.
Swampy was at the debate on July 29th, which Poilievre also attended.
He didn't really answer any of the questions. I felt like, this is clearly a politician that has been there for a very long time. He knows how to sound like he knows what he's saying. But I was waiting for answers and he didn't really answer anything. So it just seemed like he had a lot of smooth words, not a whole lot of answers.
With over 200 candidates, voters will write the names of their candidate. Voting is on August 18th. But Poilievre is widely expected to win and once again be a member of Parliament. Chris Stewart, APTN National News, Samson Cree Nation.
Lac-Seul First Nation, nearly 60 kilometers northeast of Dryden, Ontario, where a recent death is now under investigation. And according to Ontario Provincial Police, officers were called to an area on Magua Road in Lac-Seul early last Thursday. Upon arrival, they found the person deceased, a death they've since deemed suspicious. No name, age, or sex of the individual has been provided, but OPP did say a post-mortem examination will be conducted in Toronto. The Cantilever Bar wildfire continues to burn out of control in British Columbia. Now, a pair of reserves, Lytton 26A and Squananope 26, have been evacuated to the town of Lytton. And although cooler temperatures of late across the province have seen fires stop 10 kilometers south of town, the area remains under an evacuation alert, with residents told to be ready to leave on short notice. As of Friday, 77 firefighters responded to the blaze, supported by 5 helicopters, an incident management team, and a structure protection crew. The Thompson-Nicola Regional District, Scuppa First Nation, and Siska First Nation all have evacuation alerts in place for properties on the west side of the Fraser River. And still with wildfires, dozens of canoeists en route to an annual Tlicho gathering had to abandon ship thanks to an unexpected wildfire. With more Bruce de la Cruz.
The annual Trails of Our Ancestors canoe trip sees Tlicho citizens, mainly youth, canoe from their respective communities to the annual Tlicho government gathering happening in Betchico this year. Founded as a way for Tlicho citizens to reconnect on the paths taken by their ancestors, this year's canoe trip saw a record-breaking 160 paddlers and 28 canoes taking part. 42 paddlers from Gamity were evacuated via airlift after encountering a wildfire on the way to Betchico on August 3rd. While some were able to return to Gamity before smoke conditions worsened, others were flown to Betchico and are staying with family or friends in Betchico or nearby Yellowknife while waiting for smoke conditions to subside before they can return home. There were no reported injuries during the evacuation. Canoe groups from the communities of Wekwiti and Wati are safe and are scheduled to arrive in Betchico this weekend. In a statement released on the Tlicho government website, they said of the situation that we know the sudden turn of events may have been difficult, and we're proud of the strength and calm shown by the Gamity group. The annual Tlicho government gathering is next week in Betchico, where they are celebrating 20 years of self-government under the Tlicho Agreement. Bruce de la Cruz, APTN National News, Yellowknife.
And that's your APTN News Brief for Wednesday, August 6th. I'm Rick Harp.